In this video lesson, I have the drawing ready, and I will guide you through the watercolor painting process. In watercolor, for a pleasing result, the preliminary drawing should be almost final. You must decide and solve all your compositional tasks before you start solving pictorial tasks and applying colors. Because in watercolor, you can make very few corrections. So, I start with preparing my color palette. Usually, I prefer to work with ready pigments instead of mixing complex colors out of the basic pigments. But if you are a beginner artist, I would recommend to learn how to get complex colors from a basic palette in order to develop your sensitivity to the variety of nuances, hues, and tones. The amount of liquid pigment on your palette should be enough for the paper format that you choose. My format is quite big. It is 16 by 16 inches, 40 square centimeters. For this reason, my palette has bigger color pools. I prepare paint gray, natural sienna, a bit of magenta and purple, light purple mix for rusty shades on the wall. The same shade in a small amount will be present on the water surface. The water's main color is emerald green, with complex green and blue shades. Lighter purple strokes will add movement, playing as accents on the water ripples. For the darker basement of the building, I prepare a warmer green for the velvety dark moss. This green is a ready pigment. Permanent green deep for the wall basement and emerald green for the water, which I will dim down when necessary during the process. The emerald green on the oblique stripes of the navigation poles is brighter than the green of the water. So for the stripes, I will use a more turquoise hue for a chromatic contrast in comparison with the orange wall. I am mixing a bright emerald with deep Prussian blue. For the water, I use the same two pigments but with the addition of paint gray. Gray and violet will go for the shadows in the window niche. Now we will see it in detail. I start with some red ochre and orange, and yellow ochre, which is the lightest. First, I wash with water each separate element on which I plan to paint. I do not wash the white window frame, so that the orange of the wall won't bleed onto it. The first stage in watercolor is the most pleasant, as light washes allow freedom of improvisation. Once you have your drawing well built, you plunge in the real pleasure of painting. The colors I blend into the wash on the wall are related colors. They are next to each other in the color wheel. The main color of the wall in this composition is orange. But if we paint it entirely with the same pigment, it will look flat, boring, and not natural. If you want the wall to breathe, you need to arrange a play of different color hues on the wall. Yellow, orange, and red are related colors. The brown shades also belong to this family. Browns are universal ones. Greens also have related shades among browns. Example, natural umber. Cold earths are related to greens. Instead, warm earths like red ochre, Mars brown are related to reds and oranges. We work in glazes. The first wash can be cleaner. We use pure pigments, as they are less intense, being diluted in water. Yellow ochre can be less diluted, as it is a complex hue, but still it looks very bright and intense. Soon we will see the effect of color amplification. Placing contrasting colors side by side makes each color appear more vibrant and intense. The interaction between the two contrasting colors is even more expressive when one of the two is more transparent and diluted and the other is heavier, almost pure. Another way of washing an area of your artwork is to paint wet on dry. I am placing a small wash of pigment in one corner of the area and loading more pigment on the brush, pull it sideways, expanding the painted area. If this process resonated with you, take a moment to like this video. And if you are drawn to watercolor, to quiet techniques and dreamlike landscapes, follow the channel. More watercolor tricks for dreamers and creatives are waiting here.